if President Trump is really driving this push.
Yeah, President Trump has been urging Republican-led states to redraw district lines that determine where residents vote. Now, Missouri is becoming the latest state to answer that call. On social media, the president praised Republican Governor Mike Kehoe's decision to call a special session next week, in part to revisit those congressional maps, writing, quote, "That will give the incredible people of Missouri the tremendous opportunity to elect an additional MAGA Republican in the 2026 midterm elections." The announcement came hours after GOP Governor Greg Abbott signed off on a new map designed to help Republicans gain 5 more seats in Texas. In California, meantime, Democrats are hoping to offset that with a new map of their own, but voters still need to approve it in a special election this fall. The rare mid-decade redistricting push is prompting a flurry of legal challenges, but there are few guardrails at the national level, according to political analyst Todd Bell.
The Supreme Court has said that it is okay to redraw for partisan purposes. You just can't redraw in a way that violates civil rights. And the Supreme Court has not put any limitations on redrawing mid-decade.
Now, officials in several other states, like Florida and Maryland, for example, are also considering revising their voting maps. But there are critics of this push who argue that partisan redistricting hurts democracy by leading to less competitive elections and less responsive representatives. Reporting at the White House, I'm Jackie DeFusco, KCRA 3 News.
California Democrats are hoping voters pass a proposition to counter the new congressional maps in Texas. Californians will vote on the changes in November to override an independent commission that typically draws the maps. Prop 50 would create new districts and likely give Democrats 5 more seats in the U.S. House. This is a look at the proposed map. The state information guide on the special election for these proposed maps is now available on the Secretary of State's website, and it can still be edited. On Sunday, the translated ballot label, title, and summaries will be available for review. The special election is scheduled for November 4th. Another new state initiative to tackle homelessness in California. Governor Newsom announced the SAFE Task Force to prioritize and remove encampments along state rights-of-ways in California's 10 largest cities. Members will also work to bring services and shelter to those impacted. That support includes healthcare, social services, and substance use support. Several state agencies will be part of the task force, including Cal OES, CHP, and the Interagency Council on Homelessness. Sacramento will be one of the targeted areas. A local congressman is warning that federal funding cuts could impact California hospitals. Democratic Congressman John Garamendi toured a Contra Costa hospital this week. He says the president's newly passed spending plan includes drastic cuts he believes will hurt healthcare nationwide. He says funding for programs like Medicaid and Medi-Cal are at risk, and the Californians enrolled in those programs may lose their coverage. He met with leaders of the hospital systems in Solano County last month. He says their operations may be seriously impacted.
They do not know how they can possibly continue to provide services, given the cuts that are going to be happening in 2026 and beyond.
He says people will start to feel the impact of the bill next year. Republicans say the bill is the largest tax cut in history and will ultimately boost the economy and increase national security. COVID-19 cases are on the rise in Yolo County, specifically in West Sacramento. Wastewater testing shows high levels of COVID in Sacramento and West Sacramento over the past week. Levels are also increasing in Davis and in Woodland, but those remain at a medium level. More people are also going to local emergency rooms with COVID symptoms. Yolo County health officials say this points to a broader summer wave of COVID across the state. They urge residents to take more precaution, like wearing masks and getting vaccinated. And in Woodland, police arrested a man for a drive-by shooting targeting people outside of a bar. The shooting was just after midnight on August 17th near the Stag Bar on Main Street at College Street. Police say someone in a moving vehicle tried to shoot several people, and some of those bullets actually hit nearby buildings, but no one was hurt. Following an investigation for more than a week, police arrested a suspected driver, Eduardo Esquard Barilla. attempted murder charges. When they arrested him, detectives say they found an arsenal of firearms, ammunition, and a bulletproof vest. Anyone with information about the shooting is urged to call Woodland Police. Heading out to Southern California, where a police pursuit involving a suspected kidnapper ended in a crash, with the 3 kidnapped victims inside the suspect's vehicle. Police say the suspect is believed to have stolen the car in East Los Angeles with 3 children, including a baby, inside. Eventually, that suspect T-boned a car in Malibu. The conditions of the children are not known, but they were conscious and breathing after the crash. The suspect was arrested after a short pursuit. At least one other person